I always wanted to have a multi-dimensional practice. I always wanted it to be more than just flat images, and looking for ways to do that. And this idea of the display that brings the painting off the wall, maybe that's something I could use to personify painting. My name is Michael Georgetti. I'm a visual artist. I work mostly in large-scale painting, sculpture, installation. My studio is here in Melbourne, and I've grown up here. Both my mother and father, they ran a fashion accessory business. What that involved was them travelling to France to buy jewellery, and so I was lucky because from a young age I got to spend a lot of time in Paris and being exposed to a lot of European culture, a lot of modernist influences coming out of Europe at that time. So I became very excited about these things. I'm very excited about seeing big fashion houses and designs and these sort of modernist aesthetics. Or even my first or earliest experience of being in Paris and walking into the front entrance to the foyer of Louis Vuitton and the brass handrails that enter the building, the terrazzo floor. I was really excited about just these really beautiful design aspects, the presentation, like a kid in a candy shop. There was also this sort of unspoken hierarchy. Calvin Klein's down here, and all these shoes are on the ground, you know, that's beneath the perfume. And using these display systems to speak to those elements of value is something that I find interesting. Bringing painting and sculpture together opened up a lot of conversations and allowed for aspects of fashion and aspects of design and the display aspects of the work to sort of come into the conversation. If we have these sort of freestanding paintings and these structures, then they have these sort of personalities. They become sort of theatrical objects. They actually become very activated in the space. So there's these correspondences, there's these sort of relationships and conversations between the flat painting and the sculpture, and these sort of design aspects allow for that. They not just contextualize them, but materially hold them together. I think 90% of the process is just editing. Essentially, you're building the image, you're constructing it from the ground up, just over and over and over again. And if it works, it's wonderful and it's really exciting. And if it doesn't, it's really heartbreaking and upsetting. And then you sort of think about ways in which it can be something more than just the painting. Then the conversation becomes about, all right, is this going to be a freestanding painting? Is it going to be multiple panels? Can we bring some sort of object or collage aspect onto the front of the canvas? So there's all these questions, and you've got to be really honest with yourself. Like, no, that doesn't look good, you know? So, you know, the process is very intuitive, trying to find your way into the image and the editing process. And then from there, trying to find where does it sort of fit into the world? How does it exist in the world? How do we give it contemporary currency? I don't want to make a painting that looks like it's done 50 years ago. I want to make a painting that feels like now. So how do I build an image that sort of speaks to that?